Hi, sweeties. Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video and I thought that I'd share it with us because some people are still doubting Thomas. They do not believe some certain things. I see a lot of them still asking me questions in the comment section, telling me to remove Donald Trump's name from Project 2025. What I want you all to know is that Project 2025 is real. It is not a joke. We are not trying to make this up. We can make all this up, right? So you are also going to see the video of him talking about how he wants the cops to do their job. Like he is saying that he's going to give them the immunity to do their job and to rough handle anybody that do not obey and work in accordance with whatever rules they give. Now, I want you all to know this. There is no other set of people or a group of people that they are going to ruffle and all that aside from people that look like me. And this is also one of the reasons why I have been screaming about this project 2025 like or no other. Now, let me tell us this. I want you all to know that it is really going to be tough. It is really going to be hard. It is really going to be crazy, right? If something like this happen, like if they give immunity to anybody, especially the cops, it is going to be a living hell. And the best I can do is to alert every one of us so we all can be woke. The worst that can happen to us is that we decided to sleep during this election. That would be really very harmful. Let's get into this video.
So over the weekend, Donald Trump had some campaign stops. And during one of those campaign stops, he actually advocated for violence.
What the hell is going on? See, we have to let the police do their job. And if they have to be extraordinarily rough. And you know, the funny thing with all of that stuff, look at the department stores, same thing. They walk into you see these guys walking out with air conditioners, with refrigerators on their back, the craziest thing. And the police aren't allowed to do their job. They're told, if you do anything, you're going to lose your pension, you're going to lose your family, your house, your car. The police want to do it. The Border Patrol wants to do it. Border Patrol, they're incredible. They want to do it. They're not allowed to do it because the liberal left won't let them do it. The liberal left wants to destroy them, and they want to destroy our country. You know, if you had one day, like one real rough, nasty day with the drugstores as an example, where when they start walking out with, she created something in San Francisco, $950 you're allowed to steal. Anything above that, you will be prosecuted. Well, it works out that the 950 is a misnomer because you can steal whatever you want. You can go way above. But you'd see, originally you saw kids walk in with calculators. They were calculators. They didn't want to go over the $950. They're standing with calculators, adding it up. You know, these are smart people. They're not so stupid, but they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge. Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day. Mike, would you say, he's right here, he's a great congressman. Would you say, Mike, that if you were in charge, you would say, oh, please, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Let them rob your store. All these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent. The city doesn't have it's a chain of events. It's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out, and it will end immediately. End immediately. You know, it'll end immediately.
We have to let the police do their job. He's talking about indemnifying the police, giving them immunity. That's number one. And then he goes on to say, and if they have to be extraordinarily rough, then so be it. Who do you think the police will be extraordinarily rough with? And him indemnifying the police would mean that the police would get away with it. There's no holding the police accountable for being extraordinarily rough. So, black people, if you manage to live after being stopped by a police officer who was extraordinarily rough with you, then there's no recourse for you. Should you end up with severe injuries, life-threatening injuries that you live through, there's no recourse for you. There's no civil suit, and the government will not hold those police officers accountable. Yeah. And then that one day, that 1 hour of allowing extreme violence, that is why when I went over to Twitter this morning, I saw the purge was trending. He's advocating for everyday people to be able to be violent towards other people. And then he says it would stop. But he didn't stop there. He talked about overtime. He talked about overtime pay. And this is what he had to say about it.
And you know, it's going to lead to great things. A lot of people don't give. I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated. This is going to lead to a lot more. I think it's going to be economically positive, but I'm not even doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because like the no tax on overtime, it's something so.
So I think the lie that he's telling, because this is the only clip I see, and I'm not going to find the full video and have to sit through and watch Donald Trump's entire speech. I'm not doing that. So I gather from this clip, he's basically stating that he's not going to tax overtime pay. And in trying to push this narrative, he's also telling us how he hated to pay overtime pay. Now, I don't know, call me crazy, but if someone tells me that they hated to pay overtime pay to employees that were due that pay, and he would find a way around it and not be paying that overtime pay by getting someone else to come in, I would bet that he's lying, that he's not going to tax overtime pay. As a matter of fact, I remembered that there was a discussion in Project 2025 that talks about cheating employees out of overtime pay. So I went on over to the chat GPT, and I put in, what does Project 2025 say about not paying overtime? And this is what I got back. Project 2025 does not propose eliminating overtime pay outright, but it suggests significant changes to how overtime is calculated. Currently, employees receive overtime pay after working more than 40 hours in a week. However, Project 2025 proposes allowing employers to calculate overtime pay over a longer period of time, such as 2 to 4 weeks. This would mean that instead of earning overtime for working extra hours in a single week, employees will need to work more than the total allowable hours over the longer period. Critics argue that this could reduce overtime pay for workers, as it would make it easier for companies to manage schedules in a way that avoids triggering overtime requirements. Additionally, the plan includes provisions that allow employees to choose between receiving overtime pay or compensatory time off, which some would worry could give employers too much control over workers' schedules and compensation. In essence, while overtime pay wouldn't be eliminated, under Project 2025, the proposed changes could lead to fewer workers receiving it, and it would give employers more flexibility in managing work hours. You know, the MAGA nuts love to get down in my comment section and tell me that Donald Trump doesn't know anything about Project 2025. And yet, a lot of the things that Donald Trump talks about, you can find directly in Project 2025. Stiffing workers out of overtime pay, IVF, critical race theory, LGBTQ, education, abortion, all of the things he talks about when it comes to that, you can find in Project 2025. Immigrants in the country, all of that is in Project 2025. Everything he talks about, you can find in Project 2025. You know why that is? Because Donald Trump is Project 2025. They are one and the same. Vote blue in November.
So this is all I got from this video, and this is also a very huge reminder for so many people in the comment section telling me that there is no connection between somebody and Project 2025. See, why I am screaming Project 2025 is that I want a lot of people to really be very much woke, because it looks like some people are sleeping, you know, and you cannot be a Black person and you are sleeping. Sincerely speaking, you really have to pick and choose, right? So it's either you want to sleep or you want to be woke, because this is serious. For those that think it's just a joke, it is no joke. It is no joke, right? And looking at all these, and some people think that they have every, it is their vote, which is true. It is your vote. You have every right to vote whoever you want to vote. But I keep saying this: make sure that whoever you are going to vote for will not cause harm to you and people around you, right? I keep talking about immunity to the cops. I don't think this is the first time you're hearing this here. I've been screaming this, for a longer time. And I really want you all to be very much awake. Like, be woke more than any. What's going on? Be woke more than any other thing. Why am I saying this? Is that giving immunity to the cops is like telling them go ahead and do whatever you want. And you all already know the people that it is going to affect more when immunity is given to the cops. It's not going to affect the other people. It is still you and I. I mean, your brothers, sisters, nephew, cousins, and all of that. You know? There is no immunity yet. Still, I mean, people that look like me cannot even move around and flex their lives, enjoy their lives, have fun without even without much ado, let alone when there is immunity. So this is a wake-up call for everybody. I hope you know what is going to happen. I hope you understand why a lot of people are actively reminding you about Project 2025. I hope you understand why we are kicking so much against Project 2025, because from the things that we have read so far, it is not a good thing. And the people that this is going to affect the more is people that look like me. Aside from that, you will never see me come out here and screaming like it is my life. But I am screaming it like it is my life, because people that look like me are involved, and I don't want to wake up again crying, because the past week was just a living hell, you know? And the best we can do is to avoid all the avoidables, because when we do not avoid all the avoidables, it becomes a problem. Thank you so much, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.